welcome back to Star Wars Nerds Unite, the discussion and review podcast focused on the Star Wars canon. I am Tim VanAutreve, your host. Joining me, as always, blew it. Josh the Tosh, internet famous Mason.
Hello.
Jennifer, best mother in the world, VanAutreve.
Hi.
Hi, guys.
That's really loud and obnoxious.
Josh is...
In a microphone, I bet. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Lord. Very professional. We're a very professional podcast. Josh the Tosh is sipping on a root beer float out of a mason jar like a true hipster.
It's the only volumetric cylinders they have.
We like to drink out of glass as opposed to plastic. The adults do anyway. So any big volumetric, what was it? Cylinder is a mason jar in our house. Yes, that is true. Tosh, when he comes over...
And they have awkward openings.
What's so awkward about it? It's just...
It's
so again, the threads, the raised thread creates a difficult...
It doesn't.
You can't seal it off.
I've never ever noticed that.
Yeah.
Because you probably use straws.
I do not. I do not use straws.
That's why I asked for a straw. I didn't want to spill root beer float all over me.
Oh, my Lord.
I don't even use straws in restaurants because I don't want to kill our planet.
You don't want to put a straw on a turtle's nose? Tortoise's nose? And have it pulled out on the internet?
A tortoise would have no business in the ocean, so I don't think...
Oh,
it would get to them.
Oh, sea turtles. That's what they are. Oh, and tortoises are the one. We had a really old one in the Glen Oaks Zoo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, tortoises live on land.
Anyway, we are a Star Wars podcast, despite what you've heard so far. We're going to be discussing Star Wars Resistance, the cartoon, published on Disney XD. Second episode, episode 2.
It's actually like the third one.
This is our 154th episode, guys.
Wow.
That's significant, right?
To somebody it is.
It's significant to me. Every episode is significant to me.
Yeah.
Who's going to do the synopsis today?
Josh.
You just watched it.
Yeah, you just watched it.
So did you?
I watched it months ago.
Okay.
I still remember it better than you.
So I'll start it, and then you can interrupt me and fill in every detail.
I am not the one who gives every detail. You're the one who gives every detail. Every detail that I get wrong. Every detail I will make sure that you give an accurate record.
Okay.
For the listening audience.
I can't believe I'm going to do this. All right.
We get along, guys. I swear.
Okay, so Kaz is on spying for the Resistance, and he's working as a mechanic. And he's actually being put to work. And he's kind of surprised that they're actually telling him to do mechanic work. His boss is Jaeger. I always think it's called Jaeger. And he kind of gives him some tasks, and he's like, I don't know anything about being a mechanic. What are you telling me to do this for? And he's like, it's your job. You got to fit in. You got to pretend you're a mechanic, and you're going to work while you're here. Got to earn your keep, whatever. So he's kind of fumbling around with trying to get stuff done. He has no idea what anything means. You get the impression that he's like kind of a rich brat who's never had to do any physical labor in his life.
He's a pilot, okay?
Yeah, but he doesn't know anything about upkeeping of his ship. So he makes you think he's had somebody else take care of everything his whole life.
I never thought of it that way. Somebody's got to watch. Somebody's got to.
Yeah, he doesn't know anything about it. Yeah.
Well, his dad was like a bigwig, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. So, he's like talking to BB-8 the whole time, and he's still trying to like spy on everybody. He has no idea what he's looking for, but he's like lurking around trying to find something. And in the first episode, like there was all those kind of small time crooks who were mad at him because they lost money on the bet about him being the best pilot or something.
No, it was the darts.
Whatever it was, I don't know.
He was going to hit it another bullseye, and then
the guy broke the dart.
Yeah, he gave him a bad dart.
So
bad dates.
When he's like lurking around trying to find spies or trying to spy on everybody, he kind of gets caught by these guys, and they want their money. And there's this like little gold trophy that he took from home that he's been carrying around everywhere. And somehow that falls out, and they try to get him to give up his gold trophy. It has some deep meaning.
It's the first trophy he ever won. His dad said he couldn't race, but yet, when the first time he raced, he won a first place.
And apparently it's like solid gold, because everywhere he goes, people
it's not made out of gold. It's made out of some fancy material.
Iridium.
Yeah, that's even more important than gold.
It looks just like gold.
Right.
But everybody's like trying to get his trophy or trying to get him to sell it. And so these crooks are like, you can pay us back with that trophy.
Plus interest.
And then
some.
Yeah, BB-8 kind of pulls like a chopper move and saves the day and gets them out of there. And they end up falling down this chute to where he was supposed to go for his mechanic job anyway, to collect something that they needed to work on the ship. And so he ends up back where he belongs, working on this job. And the guy that came in to have something repaired is kind of shady. And so he's like, Kaz is like spying on him, because he's having these like phone calls or whatever you want to call it with somebody. And he was like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. He kept like, he was like real anxious to get off the whatever you call it. What's like
the Colossus?
The station, yeah. And so Kaz is suspicious of this guy, and he's kind of fumbling around. He's real, I don't know. Somehow when the customer is leaving, his comm link thing falls into this grate. And
Kaz bumps into him.
Yeah, he's just kind of klutzy.
But this is after he's heard the like weird Duros guy say, it's a triple dark.
Yeah, but he has no idea what that means. So
he says, what's the pirate's name? Kazak? Karak?
No.
I don't know.
Heard it.
So anyway, the customer leaves, and then Kaz is just talking to some random person on the station, and there's a storm coming in, and he finds out that triple dark means like a really, really bad storm that just blacks out the sky so nobody can see anything coming in. And this guy is like very conveniently like, oh yeah, it's really great for pirates. And so then he was like, oh, no wonder Hallian or whatever his name is wanted to get out of here. And then he was talking to Karos or something. Karos is the pirate maybe. And so then Cass finds out that Karos is a pirate that the customer was talking to, and he puts 2 and 2 together and figures out that the customer was working with this pirate, and the pirates are coming through the storm to attack the station. So the squad from the station, Kragan
Gore.
Kragan is the pirate.
Mm-hmm.
So like the pilots, like the real pilots that are always on the station, they are trying to protect everybody from these pirates that are flying in.
A squadron.
And
the real pilot.
Kaz.
The racers. They're all out there. I don't know the name of their squadron, but they're...
Ace squadron, yeah.
I have no idea their name. I wish I remembered.
Well, there's Torredosa's the young lady.
And
it's Ace Squadron.
I'll look it up later and let you guys know on another podcast.
Squadron.
And so while they're actually like in the sky fighting off these pirates, Kaz gets this idea to get that comm link, and I don't know what you say.
So earlier in the episode, he accidentally created this feedback loop.
Right. Yeah. That like blasted their little docking station.
When they were working on this ship. Mm-hmm. Do you remember what kind of ship it was? Did the ship stand out to you?
It looked exactly like...
it's an old separatist landing ship.
Oh, really? It looked like what was the part of the Ghost?
The Phantom.
The Phantom, yeah. It looked like the Phantom.
No, it was a separatist ship from the Clone Wars.
I didn't pick up on that somehow. I must not have looked with my eyes.
You mustn't. Did you recognize some of the pirate ships?
No.
I did, yeah. There was a Lambda class shuttle, but it had been chopped.
Yeah. There was also an Actis starfighter.
I didn't recognize
And there was a clone trooper starfighter too.
I just thought their fighters looked awesome.
Yeah.
They were all super modded.
Yeah.
They looked dope.
So he gets the comlink. Actually, BB-8 helps him get the comlink out, and then he does a feedback loop, whatever you call it.
He makes a really loud noise.
That's
really annoying.
Makes this loud noise, and then all the pirates are like freaking out. This is in their like headpieces or whatever. And so they leave. They retreat because of this loud noise in their head. And nobody knows that Kaz had anything to do with it. Nobody believes him. And he can't really tell very many people because nobody knows that he's supposed to be spying. And then at the very end, you find out Phasma is working.
Well, you just glossed over and skipped the critical character building moment.
What's the character building
You talked
moment?
about the trophy, but then you didn't talk about the payoff.
Okay.
The whole reason they included the statue.
No, what? Well, I don't even know what you're talking about.
When the pirates first attack, the little guy who broke the dart, I'm not going to remember his name, but he looks like
he looks like a tiny little shark head.
Yeah, he looks like a shark head.
And he has like tons of little teeth.
Do you remember the name of the pod racer who's the same race as him?
No.
I don't either. It's like either Max Quadranero or
he's like a little walking shark.
So anyways, this guy.
But his teeth are like dolphin, like a bottlenose dolphin. They're not like a shark.
Yeah. He's the station doors are slowly closing and he'll be trapped outside.
Gravel?
Yeah,
he's an Alina.
Oh.
And Kaz uses his trophy.
Oh yeah,
to keep the doors open.
So he saves the weird shark guy.
Also,
the guy who's being a jerk to him.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a Duros. The guy?
He's a Neimoidian.
He's a Neimoidian.
Yeah.
But he has, I mean, his trophy is still there. He still has it.
It's still made out of metal.
It's just scraped up.
And bent.
But he didn't really care
about
the monetary value of it. It was just like a keepsake.
It was his lucky trophy.
So he still has it.
Yeah, but now it's all dented and bent up.
He had it all pristine. He was like polishing at the beginning.
Yeah, I don't think he cared. He didn't care at all about how much it was worth, though.
It was worth.
He didn't care what it was worth
more to him.
Yeah, but he still has it. It's not like he.
But it's not
threw it off a cliff.
It wasn't worth a lot because it was shaped in a fanciful way. It was worth a lot because of the material it's made out of. So it still has its monetary worth.
Right, because you can melt it down.
But he's lost some of the sentimental value because now it's blemished.
Why is that? Why is the blemishing damage the
let me sacrifice
value?
Like the only thing he cared about, where he rubbed something in his dad's face.
Right.
He still has it.
Let's
sacrifice it.
Let's go through a role playing experiment. What if your grandma gave you like a really cool blanket? She made it. She knitted it herself.
Like an Afghan.
Like an Afghan. And it's been passed down through the family, and then in a couple years Max dumps a bunch of purple paint on it and it's stained forever.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be upsetting to you? That now this really important special thing is no longer pristine? Sure, you still have it, but now it's covered in purple paint. Right?
I like your alliteration.
I don't know. I don't think there's those two.
I don't have emotions.
Analogies are.
I just don't think.
I'm just saying, for him, I think he just wanted to have it as a reminder for how he felt. I don't think that he cared how nice it looked, but whatever. Maybe he did.
Everyone cares about how things look. Otherwise, you wouldn't have a case on your phone, right? What happens if I take this case off right now and I put a giant scratch in the back of your phone?
I just don't want the screen to crack. Well, the back of my phone has all these little jewels already torn off.
Did we mention that I actually put Josh and I both have cases on our phones?
Yeah.
I only have a case because the original material is terrible.
It's so slippery.
Yeah.
I got like the slimmest case I could possibly get. It's like rubbery, so I have like a grip on it. But man, the phone's so big and like it's so hard to hold on to. I had to do something. I feel like
mine provides no fall protection whatsoever.
Then what's the point in it?
Because it doesn't. I'm not holding a piece of ice that's slightly melted all the time.
Yeah.
I'm holding a thing that has friction.
Right. Yeah, that's how I feel about mine.
That's probably the biggest news since we podcast. In our big break was that you both got phone cases.
That is true. We joined the dark side.
We should have talked about that.
If my next phone does not have the least friction material on the surface of the planet.
Oh, the first opportunity I have, I will ditch
You
my
told
case.
me before that you got it because your daughter broke it.
No.
No.
It was broken with the case on it.
He bought the case because he liked the way it felt.
Correct.
And it is it looks real good. Like it looks like an old grandma couch.
It does. I would say it looks like an old grandma Sunday jacket more than a couch.
Or it actually looks like my grandpa's.
It looks like tweed.
Lazy boy. Well, he would have never paid for a lazy boy.
Right.
My grandpa's
Tweed
generic
right.
lazy boy.
It's tweed.
that he sat in.
It just looks like tweed.
It's kind of a weird.
Is that what that is?
Yes.
I would call it
I
like
tweed then.
sweatpants. A combination of sweatpants and tweed.
Okay.
Anyways, it doesn't matter.
Mine's just like the Apple silicone.
The point was clearly articulated that the damage to the trophy is an emotional growth opportunity for Kaz.
Well, and he actually works on his ship at the end.
Right.
He works on his ship, so it shows that he's not only growing as a person, he's growing as a mechanic as well.
Even though his ship doesn't work.
Okay, so
Well, it started. That's an improvement. But
Phasma,
Team Fireball.
Phasma was working with the pirates.
But do you know why?
No.
Do you not listen?
They're trying to take over the base.
They want to take over the
yeah.
platform
Yeah.
for some reason.
All right, so
I thought you meant some deeper meaning.
No, I asked, do you know what reason?
I don't know, some long-term goal.
They're using the pirates to try and make the I can't remember his first name.
Jaeger?
No, Doza.
Oh yeah, Doza.
Have to have the First Order come in and protect the platform and owe the First Order favors.
right, so the pirates attack a bunch and whatever. But I don't understand why the Resistance or why the First Order doesn't just take the base. How hard would it be for them to just take it?
I think it's still the point in time where they're trying to stay kind of in the shadows. And maybe this is a big enough...
They don't want to look like they're just...
they don't want to look like a threat.
Forcing their
right?
will on on innocent people.
Yeah, because then the actual New Republic
might do something.
pays attention to them, right?
Right.
Okay. All right. I'll buy that. It's bought. So there's a little character growth already. That's good. Do we get any character building besides him?
No. It was very much a Kaz focused episode.
That it was. Although we did get so bad. Niku at the very beginning. He was talking about how he once had a pet named Lucky.
Yeah.
Not like the trophy that was Lucky, and then it died, and then he ate it.
And it was delicious.
It was
a cat.
delicious, but then it gave him, and then they stopped talking. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
But also slightly inappropriate.
Why is eating your dead pet inappropriate?
I can't think of a single reason. Jenny, can you?
Not if you're an alien that eats cats on a regular basis.
How do you know it was a cat?
Because he said it was a cat.
Oh, yeah. Did he? I thought he just said it was a pet.
I don't know that he specified
I heard cat.
species of...
Pretty sure he said pet.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
He said pet cat.
You can imagine it's a cat.
You can imagine whatever you want.
It's a little...
You're the boss. You're the boss of you. And me.
Little tabby cat. Meows a lot.
So, this week, Jenny, I'm going to censor it because there were a lot of swear words in this phrasing that she used.
Well, we have to review the episode.
Oh, okay. All right.
You left out my favorite. Well, you didn't leave it out. You skipped over. I can tell your score is going to be low.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Okay.
So the scene where he is sneaking around.
Yeah.
The Kaz sneaking scenes in the show are the funniest thing on earth.
He's in plain sight and he's acting like he's behind a wall.
Well,
He's
just the way they...
He's lurking and crouching, but he's just in the middle of everything.
The way they chose to animate it is so funny. And it's just, I love it. I love the him sneaking scenes. There's more of them coming.
Oh, goody.
They're the best. I wish he could just sneak all the time.
Is it just him going like this?
Yeah, exactly.
He's such a bad
prowling around
because all he does is talk about,
being a spy.
I'm supposed to be spying right now. I mean, flying.
Well, how am I supposed to know what the First Order is doing?
Are you the First Order? I need to spy.
I mean, this guy, I don't know if he's in the First Order, but he could be.
I was on Coruscant. He doesn't even have like a good backstory. You'd think he would like put some thought into it. He didn't. All right, so we're gonna review it.
Yeah, what's your rating, Jen?
I only watched this. I actually have watched this one more than once. I just watched it again just now, and I watched it the first time when it first came out. But I had watched like a 3 or 4 all in a row before, and I was just like over it. So just watching like one 20-minute chunk was a lot easier to digest. So it was not as bad as last time when I talked about it. So I've had to do a 6.
I'm gonna go 7. Actually, I kind of like this episode.
I thought it was a 7.5.
All right,
7.5.
There it is. So Jenny this week revealed to me through many swear words that I'm not allowed to say on our clean podcast that there was no way that she was going to record an entire season of this show on our podcast. She was not going to watch it. She was not going to talk about it. She was not going to record it because she would have to do something terrible to herself if she was going to do that. A lot of things I can't say.
Remember that? I think this is longer than that whole conversation.
No, it was not. You like swore about it for longer than I've been talking about you.
I don't
wanting to
remember
not talk about this show.
I wish I was really tired when I did this. I don't even remember.
Okay,
that
so
much.
We might have to change the format of our show.
What do you mean?
I think she'll warm up to it.
I remember saying something like, I don't want to get in a bleepity
Resistance block.
Yes. I can't do it.
Right. Yeah. So no hashtag resistance block, I guess. Even though that's kind of what's up. So
maybe we could just do like, how many episodes are out there already?
16.
Yeah.
The 16th episode just came out. They just had a break.
Yeah, they came back from the winter break.
Yeah, they gave us a chance to catch up, and we did not take the opportunity.
Okay. Well, we need to do several together or something, and then maybe do something in between some of them.
Well, I was thinking about that. The reality is like what else is out there is like
books.
A book.
A book
comics.
Or like trade paperbacks. I don't want to record single issues of comics anymore. Nobody cares about that. Unless we were like keeping up with it like we were at the beginning, where like it would come out, we would record on it, and then that was it. We need to do complete stories. So like there's no way you're going to read an entire trade paperback before an episode every week. And there's no way you're going to read an entire book in a week. You just don't have time.
And there's no way we're going to record in a week.
Yes, there is. I'm ready to record right now. We'll do episode 155.
Mm-hmm.
I just need artwork.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, and we got to watch the episode downstairs.
So I could start reading a book now, and then we can do some of the Resistance episodes, and then do the book.
So we would just slightly interrupt Resistance.
Yes. Nobody's like sitting on the edge of their seat waiting to hear what we have to say about Resistance. I don't think.
Everyone is.
Everyone. It's on the edge of their seats.
I don't know. Not sure about that.
So what's the next Star Wars book we're gonna read then?
I don't know.
We didn't even review some of the ones that we were supposed to.
Yeah.
And to the point where I don't remember which ones I read.
I know what I've read, and I could give you like a 4-minute synopsis of it, but not much beyond much.
Yeah, it's been so long. But yeah, I read a ton.
I had a bunch of Audible credits, so anytime a pre-order would come up, I would get the pre-order, but then not listen to it. So I'm way far behind. I don't know which. Let's see what we can do.
So we have tons of Star Wars books too, like already that we could talk about. There's Thrawn and Thrawn 2. I don't think we did the first Thrawn, did we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, so Thrawn 2 would be a good one.
Thrawn 2, the Thrawning.
The Thrawning?
Yeah.
I bet people really like us talking about what we're going to record on next.
Logistical.
Yeah, they're probably like yelling in the background, or they've already turned it off.
Yeah.
We're just done. We're done. Finished.
These yahoos.
What do they know?
They don't even want to talk about resistance.
And you just try to keep going. You just are like...
Well, I'm trying to talk while Josh
it's
looks
like
something up.
you're like trying to get that very last person.
I'm just trying to see which books I have.
Last
in
Shot,
my list.
the Han and Lando novel. We haven't done that one.
We have not.
We finished Aftermath, thank God, right?
I don't think we actually talked about the last.
Are you
Yeah, you
serious?
did. Yeah, you
Did we?
We'll
We'll have to go back and look.
I'm pretty sure you did.
Oof.
There's a Han and Lando novel.
Yeah, there was a couple different Lando
Yeah, I went with
novels.
Solo.
Were they good?
I haven't listened to them, so I don't know.
We talked about Tarkin, right?
We did talk about Tarkin.
Man, I have so many Star Wars books. I own a lot of them. I had no idea. You know what? I bet I don't own all these.
The thing that
No, it is from my library. I own like 10 seconds worth of scrolling.
me and you can't even do the same book at the same time.
Why? I fixed that, baby.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Remember? I had that thing where I set up your own. I logged in for you.
Oh, and
as
you share the library.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then every time I'd start doing a book, like it would mess up when he did it.
No, that was what it used to be. I fixed it like a month ago. Remember? Remember we read that Eleanor Oliphant's book together at the same time, and it never came up and said, "Hey, you."
I didn't listen to that. I read it.
I know.
That was Kindle. I'm talking about Audible.
Audible's the same way, babe.
Then how come I have all of your books on here?
Because I shared my library.
But when I start a book, it's not my time isn't going to
That's why
screw
I did
up.
what I did. I try to take care of my baby.
God.
Josh is going to vomit up his root beer float. Okay.
At least then I could drink it again.
Root beer float does actually.
So we'll
What?
figure out what we're going to do later.
Okay, let's do the Hondo.
Hondo?
Not Hondo.
I don't think there's a Hondo Onaka book. Although Hondo's supposed to come back in Resistance.
Han and Lando.
I know that's got you excited.
You know what? I'd actually be excited to see him in this show.
Oh, yeah?
Jeez Louise. So I'm just gonna throw my thought out there. You guys can tell me we'll never ever do it. That's fine. I was kind of thinking that we sort of go on our own Star Wars journeys.
No.
You and I, Josh, because Jenny doesn't have time. She's doing school, and like we can do our own thing, and then come back to the podcast and like, hey, here's what I experienced this week. Here's what you experienced this week, and then we keep Jenny up on the canon, and then she talks about how lame we are, mostly me.
I don't like this idea. I think it'll be boring.
Boring for who?
Everybody.
Boring for you?
I still think it'll be as interesting if we're not debating the same thing.
We can cover multiple topics in the same episode, and we can sort of catch back up. Just a thought. You think about it.
I don't need to think about it. I don't want to do that.
I know you haven't made up your mind yet. Just give it some thought.
I'll tell you again later that my answer is no. If you want.
Did we get any emails from the last episode?
No.
Whew. Man, how far we have fallen.
Yeah, it happens.
Man, we blew it. So I've noticed, like in the podcast world, all these celebrities have started podcasts now.
All these celebrities.
Ron Burgundy.
And it's not funny.
An alter ego of a celebrity has a podcast now.
And it's not funny.
It is kind of funny.
It's not.
The second episode is pretty good. He meets with Deepak Chopra, whatever his name is. And he taught me how to meditate.
Yeah, I have no interest in that whatsoever.
And then in the third episode, he meets with a Christmas expert. But really, his assistant couldn't find a Christmas expert because she had like 20 minutes. So she just went on the street and found a guy that celebrated Christmas. And Ron Burgundy was very disappointed. Do you think it's weird that Ron Burgundy is in current timeline as if he is the same age as he was on the Anchorman?
I don't think about that at all.
Okay. I do. I thought about it quite a lot. You know what other podcasts I've been listening to? I go through these phases where I'm like podcast, Audible, music, And my last phase was music, and it was a really long one. Oh, and talk radio. Sorry, there's talk radio in there too. My last talk radio phase, like sports talk and then NPR, super long. It was like 2 years long. And I finally got back to podcasts, and I started listening again. I listened to The End of the World. Have you listened to that?
Nope, never even heard of it.
Holy cow. It's like, you would love it. It's like Science Corner, but the whole episode. It's End of the World with Josh Clark. He's the guy that does Stuff You Should Know, or one of the two guys.
Yeah, I won't. Yeah.
I think you would actually like this one. He goes into like a super deep dive on like the galaxy and like.
Yeah, but he doesn't know. He's just doing internet research.
Yeah, that's.
So he'll say things from
this is
he doesn't really know.
This is different than Stuff You Should Know. This is like something he spent a long time on. It's like a labor of love. You can tell.
It doesn't matter.
Just listen to the first episode.
I'm not going
Just
to.
try it. Try 20 minutes.
I've got enough podcasts.
Fine.
I have a backlog.
Fine.
I'll listen to people who actually know, like astrophysicists who know.
The Stuff You Should Know podcast that I was listening to with you in the car.
Yeah, the one on elephants.
The one on elephants was semi-interesting. The other ones was really, really, really boring. Yeah, and I'm like, this is not stuff I should know. I do not
They've
care.
run out of things that you should know.
I don't care when Macy started. I don't care.
No, that wasn't Stuff You Should Know. That was The Brink. I don't actually like that podcast that much.
Why did we have to listen to it for 4 hours then?
Because I subscribed to it, so now I have to listen to them so that my completionist mentality is okay.
You don't have to spend any minute.
But they had a Lego episode, and I had to work my way up to it, and I had to listen to all the episodes before I got to the Lego episode.
Sound like Randall.
Randall who?
Our listener. You're going to listen to all the episodes again, just so you can listen to the Lego episode again.
Whatever. Oh, there's another good podcast that I should plug. It's called Middle America. Jared Grabb does it. From Peoria. And it's like, it's this weird, very produced, like he spent a ton of time. As a producer of a podcast, I know how much time he has put into this. It's insane. So he mixes like music with, he tells like sort of personal, like sort of a diary sort of thing about his life, but he relates it to like a historical topic related to our area. And he's only 2 episodes in, but both have very much touched Peoria. And it's very, very good. Middle America. Check it out.
It sounds boring. I'm going to be honest with you.
So it's emo, right? It's super emo.
It sounds boring.
It's not that boring.
It sounds boring.
It's not that boring.
No, I mean it's not boring. They talk about Peoria. I love Peoria.
What? I don't care.
It's a whiskey city.
Okay, who cares?
Used to be. All right, fine. Don't care then.
Don't listen to his garbage podcast recommendations.
But do listen to the Fantastic Plastics who do our theme song.
Do they have a podcast? Everybody's got a podcast now.
Everybody has a podcast now. That's true. Ron Burgundy even knows that. So, actually, that made me think of Jesus. Jesus emailed me, and he's like, hey, why don't you get over your garbage artwork on your episodes? Stop stealing images off the internet, and let me just make you one. So he stole an image off the internet and then doctored it and made it all pretty.
That's called what's that called? It's not stealing at that point.
Okay. Well,
it's creative use.
He creatively used his own stuff and made something cool. And so I replaced our 153 album artwork and stuff with his art. So 154 has also work from Jesus. And
this episode.
This episode. So he said he's going to keep doing that.
That's awesome.
He is awesome. He also designed a new logo for us. But we haven't committed to it.
Yeah.
We need to talk about it. Off air.
And we're also working on a shirt for celebration.
2 shirts.
Well, I mean, it's 1 shirt with 2 variants.
Have you seen the crawl yet, though?
No, I'm not familiar.
I haven't showed you that.
Not familiar with the crawl.
He's working on that one in secret, I guess.
Oh, man.
I did some grammar police on the write-up, but
I think he knows that I have a very defined creative vision, and I will give feedback according to that.
I did.
So I don't think he would include me in the process.
Well, he is including you on the other one, the one with the skyline.
Well, that's because that was my idea.
I liked when you said skyline, and he was like, "No, that's pretty cliche. I'm not gonna do it." And then he did the skyline, and it's so good.
I know,
it's so good.
How come I'm not on this?
He knows you're busy.
he explicitly asked what your email address was so he could include you, and we said
just email letters.
Just send it when it's done.
Thanks, guys.
That's not totally true.
I'm glad you value my input.
It's at a phase where you're so disruptive and chaotic that it would.
What do you mean? What did I do that's disruptive and chaotic?
I just feel like you would want it to go in a totally different direction.
Yeah, and
because I'm so picky and demanding.
No.
Oh, yes, you are.
Whatever.
I'm picky and demanding.
So am I.
But I'm picky and demanding in one direction, and you're picky and demanding in another direction.
Correct. Yes. Yep, that's true.
So it doesn't work.
So you're just trying to get your way.
If you have a fantastic idea, email Jesus and say, "Hey, we should do this," and then collaborate.
Nah.
Instead, you just want to come in.
I'll just let
once
you guys
3/4 of the process is done, and then lord over everything.
I didn't know there was a process going on until just now.
Well, you saw I showed you the new logo design. Right?
Yes, you did.
And now that I've seen that
and I took
logo,
it in a whole new direction. I was like,
I started seeing
I thought
the
it was
color
really good.
scheme everywhere. Like that's like
it's
the
a
new
very
hip.
common
That's
80s
like the new
throwback color scheme.
Color scheme, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Weezer's Teal album came out. Yeah, that happened.
I'm pretty sure that the first reply all, I'm gonna look. I'm pretty sure you were on it.
Which one? For the original? The celebration?
Oh, no, you weren't. Tim's at fault.
Tim's at fault. Yep. Thank you for throwing me under that bus.
That's okay.
No, it's actually Jesus is at fault. He didn't send it to letters. He sent it to us directly.
That's because he knows we get stuff done.
We're in the business.
I'm sure whatever he comes up with will be good, regardless of you guys' input.
I'm pretty sure that I might just make a shirt of my original artwork.
Oh my god.
Your original artwork?
Remember that those like flat designs you made?
Yeah.
I liked those. Like from the original, the original artwork.
All right, let's read a few letters.
All right, we're going to read a few letters here. This one is a new letter from a new listener, Lillian, who lives in crap weather capital of Canada. She says, a letter that doesn't have a title, sorry, in the subject.
Yeah.
So, I just found your podcast like 2 months ago, and this letter is like
2 months.
It's old.
So
or some period of time like that, but I have a horrible system of listening to them. So as I downloaded like 5 or 6 on Spotify at school before I go to my dad's house, he doesn't have internet. Anyway, what? What year is it at your dad's house?
It's Canada.
Anyway, it's a horrible system, so I should have changed it like 3 days ago. I would rate your guys' podcast a 9 out of 10, only because I say it's my second favorite podcast. Star Wars Connection on YouTube is my number 1 favorite. They are huge Raylo shipping.
I don't think it's fair to call them a podcast. I think they're a vlog.
I'm not used to being second place.
So we should be his favorite podcast. And the Star Wars Connection is sorry.
Lillian.
We hadn't gotten to the name yet.
Yeah, he said it already.
I wasn't paying attention.
So that
showing
Lillian
Jen
would know her letter was in here.
Showing Jen my artwork.
You should email Lillian, reply to her letter, and just say, "Hey,
sorry it took so long." Have.
Well, I mean, do it now and say, "Hey, 154 has your letter. We're bad at podcasting."
But anyways, this vlog that she watches shouldn't be her favorite podcast.
So you checked it out after you saw it. You were like, "Who are these guys?"
No, I have no idea. I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm just saying, if it's on YouTube, it's not a podcast.
So you're not like me.
It's a vlog.
You don't have that sort of thing in you.
I already know what I am and how I compare to the rest of the podcast universe.
Because you're better.
It's not that I'm better. I'm very me.
You're not gonna. You are very you.
And nobody can replicate it.
We should start a stuff you should know podcast. There's only like 8 billion of them already, but I think you would be great at it.
I don't want to.
Don't you think that'd be a good dynamic, you and me?
Doing what?
Doing what?
Like talking about, stuff they should know.
No, it would be a bunch of...
I don't think it would be fun.
It would be boring.
If people have genuine questions, I'm willing to answer them.
They can email you, and you shall answer them. Okay. Oh my gosh. Jenny's giving her... Why is Tim
Did you
still
finish
talking
that
about-
email?
No.
We finished the preamble.
Read the email.
Good Lord. I'm not going to read this next part because it starts with, I think I agree with Jen.
The most.
The most probably because I don't know much about the old EU. I like how you talk about the old EU every now and then, so I get a somewhat idea of what it used to be. I was born early 2000s. I'm broke
Oh my
and
goodness.
live like all the way out in the middle of nowhere. But if I could, I would get more EU books. I have one, Heir to the Empire. I really like The Last Jedi. I know that it's late, but I figured that I would say it. I loved Leia and Carrie Fisher. I cry every time I see the credits. Oh, man. That's a bad way to end the movie. Crying. I also like Kylo, not the scene where he was lacking in shirt. But the rest I liked. I think he is much more human than any other villain, quote unquote. I mean, up until Return of the Jedi, Darth Vader wasn't that human. So I enjoy seeing a huge emo man baby running around space. My stepdad hates him. I asked why, and all he said was that he looks like he wants to cry or he needs to take a crap all the time. My stepdad does not like Driver, like whatsoever. Tim, I like memes, just not all of them, but the high grounds win against all of them. All of them. Sorry if you get this at a weird time, but I'm writing this at school when I have like 30 minutes before class. And I think I'm going to show the podcast to my close friend and Star Wars nerd buddy. Good choice. Sorry if this letter is like way too long. I had like a bunch of stuff I wanted to say, and I didn't want to send 5 letters. I don't really care if you read this one on the podcast, because I don't have anything new or cool to say except Solo is coming out in 3 days.
Oh, that dates it.
Yikes.
Oh, man.
And I'm totally making my mom go just so she can buy my ticket.
Oh,
I hope the weather is nice.
Thanks, Mom.
Because Nova Scotia is like a month into spring. It's the crap weather capital of Canada, and I hope Max is doing okay.
Oh.
I like hearing him make baby noises. I hope for many, many, many more great podcasts in the future. May the force be with you. That's Lillian.
Thanks, Lillian.
That was a
She's
really
the
good
same
letter.
age as Nolan and Nora and Megan.
Yeah.
She's early 2000s like them.
Yep. That's the truth. Man. She really hates where she lives.
So she's from Nova Scotia?
In the middle of nowhere, Nova Scotia.
This one's from our bro Dave. He says, questions. Hi guys. I listened a couple years, but mainly stick to the movie-based podcast. I have never understood the dynamic. What, if any, relationship does Josh have with Jen? Just connected because friends with Tim? Loved the rant and rave on Crappy. Me too, been there, done that. Allegiant Airlines. What relationship do you guys have? I'm curious about that myself.
What?
Now.
Oh my god.
Having just had this brought up. Yeah, I've been friends with Josh since, what were we in?
High school. High school.
You sure it was high school? I remember talking to you about Windows 98 on
High
Chad
school.
Brewer's couch
High school.
in the dark. All right, so high school.
I didn't go to high school with them. I didn't even meet Tim till 2010.
So her life didn't start until 2010.
Uh-huh. So
You met Tim the same night you met me.
yeah. Josh was already married.
Well,
So,
taken.
so,
Tim it was.
But no, that's the only.
yeah. So
Yeah.
Josh can be very. He speaks his mind, and he has a tendency to upset some of our other friends' wives in conversation because he doesn't like change what he says to make them happy. So I think he sort of latched on to Jen because Jen thinks when he does that it's
I don't
funny.
feel like he's latched on to me.
But so he has a way bigger connection with you than he does any of the other women in the family.
How do you know?
Because I've witnessed your
I don't know. He seems
conversations
pretty tight
with, the
with
friend group.
April. He talks to April a lot.
Okay. His relationship with you is evolved beyond that.
Whatever.
He does get on with April. That is true. Better than some people. You want a great park for kids and adults? Hershey Park in good old Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Is that like an amusement park?
Yeah, I think it's an amusement park.
I went on a vacation to Pennsylvania with my cousin and her parents when I was a kid, and because we went to Pennsylvania because her dad's family lived there, and we went to an amusement park. I don't know if it was Hershey, but I'll find out.
I've been to Scranton. I stayed in Scranton. Stayed the night.
Why? When you were on your tour with Jared
I
Grabb?
was on tour with Jared Grabb.
Okay, end the story.
Well, I have a really good story about going to like some gangsters.
Maybe you should really overly produce a podcast about it with some nice
and a guy threw a bike over
music,
like into a gully.
Yep.
As soon as I said, "What were you there for?" I regretted it instantly. I was like, "Oh God, that's when he was on tour."
We played basketball at people's houses.
Oh wow, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's a unique experience for a kid.
Oh man,
I brought my skateboard. I was driving around in a Ford Taurus. It was maroon. It was a good time. He says, P.S. I never found myself such a major Josh fan till the Solo trailer. The Last Jedi spec features, no good. Allegiant Air and Disney World trip talk. Keep up the real world talk, parental things, etc. May the Force be with you while you live long and prosper. Oh, look at that. Little mix there.
That is a mix. I don't like mixes.
Man, Dave didn't like you until
he was educated.
That's kind of how people are. Like people kind of get kind of a salty impression of you sometimes when they first meet you, and then they get to know you, and then everyone loves you because they realize what you really are. You're just a big, beautiful teddy bear.
About that.
What?
Maybe you should make a podcast where you just like
Talk
analyze
about how great
Josh.
It'll be straightforward. It'll be one episode.
I don't know. Jim could probably
I've got more than one episode.
drag it out.
I've been writing it out. This one's for Maddie. She says, my 2 bits on Solo. Wow. I'm writing this immediately after watching Solo. And can I just say I was impressed. I was concerned about the actor playing Han not doing as good as Harrison Ford, but I was actually pleased. I was hooked from the moment Lucasfilm flashed on the screen. Let me back up a little, describe the events that lead up to the movie. So at the last moment, my dad sprung the idea on me and my brother. My mom doesn't like Star Wars. I didn't have time to change into my new May the Mass times acceleration be with you. Oh, that's a Science Corner t-shirt.
Yeah.
My Millennium Falcon earrings. Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
Then we were rushed out
heavy.
the door, and on our way, we were good. Or so I thought. When we got to the theater, we could tell our luck hadn't changed when we saw the long lines. Wonderful. I figured that I would be fine, but no. I'm not that lucky. There were 2 people working with 6 total places. It took forever. The lines were at a standstill. We ended up going to another theater to see a later showing. We also had Chick-fil-A, and I talked about a trippy dream I had last night. I was also rating commercials. The 2 highest ranking ones were Bohemian Rhapsody and the new Mission Impossible movie.
I think she meant trailers, not... I guess...
Well, I mean, maybe she just calls them commercials.
Yeah, well, that's what they are.
So, I have found in my life that no one cares about your dreams. Like maybe like your dreams, like where you're like,
I want to be a rock star.
right, but like your dreams, like that you're when you're sleeping and you have a dream. No one cares about that. Not even my wife.
Why are you talking about
my
that?
wife
Because
likes
she said that she talked about one of her trippy dreams, but
to
like
her dad and brother.
but like I found that it's best to just sort of like write those down or like keep them to yourself because it's never as important to someone else as it was to you, or like as what's the word I'm looking for? Revolutionary in your brain. Sometimes I have dreams and I'm like, yes, I've solved it all. And then I tell someone else and they're like, it sounds stupid as I say it. It explains that.
Megan always tells me crazy dreams and I have no interest in them whatsoever. It's like, what do you want me to say to
like,
this?
and then
like,
what happened?
I don't know. I think your dreams are stupid.
Does she get worried about it? Like, what does this mean?
No.
Oh.
She just wants to tell me her dreams, so I just sit there and don't.
Yeah, it makes.
What do you want me to do?
I think it makes people uncomfortable. Because I know when some people tell me.
Who are you telling your dreams to?
I told you my dreams.
Yeah, but I don't get uncomfortable. Who do you...
Well, you like never say any follow-up questions, and I've had other people...
Because I don't
How do you follow it up?
Question.
And I'm like...
I'm like, is that all you remember? Is there any more details that
what do you
want
think
to
your
share?
dream means?
Who do you tell your dreams to? People at work?
Maybe his comic book Facebook
I stopped
group.
telling anyone my dreams.
Maybe what you should do, Maddie,
what is the point of
is
this?
never stop telling people your dreams.
Write it down in a dream journal
That's
or
a good
something.
point. Don't be like me. Now on to the actual movie. Wow. 8.5 lightsaber rating. My ranking order is The Phantom Menace, last place. Revenge of the Sith, 9th place.
Well, she's going from last to first.
Yeah, she's building up.
Yeah, that's how most
Building up to it.
top 10s.
Attack of the Clones, 8th.
Work.
Rouge 1, 7th. The Last Jedi, 6th. Force Awakens, 5th. Solo, 4th. Empire Strikes Back. New Hope. Return of the Jedi. She likes the Ewoks. And the original song, I bet. At the end. I don't like Kira at all. Princess Leia is the only one Han can be with. I was surprised when Maul showed up, but my main thought was, people who haven't watched Clone Wars or Rebels will be confused, and was amused. I did not mean to rhyme. You nailed it anyway. I think they just saw Maul from episode 1, and they may be confused about timeline, maybe a little. But
I think a lot of people may have gotten confused.
I liked seeing Han's dice again. That was cool. I half expected to see Maz and or Bespin. I kind of thought we'd see Maz too. The droid revolution was amazing. It was really funny. When does this take place? Before Rebels? Just after Revenge of the Sith?
Well before Rebels.
Yeah. Before New Hope. For sure. I'd be willing to bet that a comic or book is coming for Kira's adventures with Maul.
The rumor is that there's going to be a TV series on Disney Plus.
With the same actress?
Don't know. Maybe? Question mark?
Well, Disney said they were kind of starting to pull back a little. Like they canceled. They canceled our Toy Day.
They didn't cancel Toy Day.
Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't.
Yeah,
they
Force
just
Friday.
announced it. It's called Triple Force Friday.
Oh, okay. So they tripled down.
Yeah.
Instead of so there was other stuff that they canceled, but they said they were trying to pull back in a stockholder meeting. They said they were trying to pull back from.
Oh, when Tim was at the stockholder meeting, I told him.
You know what?
Bob Iger was just, leaning over and mentioning to Tim how they were.
Maybe this is too hot for you to share.
Yeah.
I told you don't like my dreams. What were your favorite scenes? I like the "I'm mad at you, just kidding, let's bro hug" scene at the end. That reminded me of Empire Strikes Back. I also liked basically every scene L3 is in.
I liked L3 too.
The scene that sticks out in my head the most is when they're in the maw and they're trying to get away.
Oh, that one doesn't stick out to me at all.
I have it in my head like
when they're
clear as
what?
day. When they're in the maw and they're like being
in space
sucked in.
And the giant space kraken.
Right. And the radar dish flies off.
For me, when they're on that last planet.
I like the very beginning when they're
the Mad Max scene.
Yeah,
I like that scene too, but I like the very beginning when he's first the
card chase?
joking around with that whatever that creature is that has them all as slaves.
And
and then he throws something at her or whatever he does.
He breaks open the window so the sun shines on.
Yeah, the vampire.
Yeah. When he's talking back to her and then she's having him beaten and then he just keeps just smarting off. I like that part.
Am I the only one who noticed underlying hints of cowboy movies? In a good way? No, that was extremely intentional.
Yeah.
Am I the only one who did not like Lando? Not the character, the dude who played him. Not a fan. He just didn't sell it. I thought he did fine. I thought it was right.
I think I've commented on this before, but from the trailers, I had a higher opinion of Donald Glover than Alden Ehrenreich.
Yep.
But after the movie, they have flip-flopped.
I agree. When I saw Ron Howard's name at the end of the movie, all I could think about was Opie Taylor and Richie Cunningham. For a 15-year-old, I watch a lot of old shows with Happy Days. I'm just going to say, how do you know who those people are? The Carol Burnett Show and Hogan's Heroes being at the top of the list. Well, so much for wrapping it up. Metaphors be with you, Maddie. Yes, that's what I meant to type. In our face.
When you said The Phantom Menace, have you been reading all the stuff about Celebration they've been saying?
No.
They're making a big deal that it's 20 years since The Phantom Menace.
Yes.
So maybe there's going to be some big thing.
Do you think there'll be an Anakin pod racer we can get in?
I don't know, maybe.
Oh, what if we get a picture in the Anakin pod racer? Do you know how much I like the pod racers?
They're cool.
They're super cool.
But you don't remember the guy's name who's the same race as the dude on Resistance.
No. Aren't they re-releasing a pod racer set on Lego?
In Anakin's pod set, yeah.
Do you know how much it is?
$50-$60?
Oh,
yeah.
Garbage.
Expensive.
Garbage. I'm going to buy it anyway. I want that. I don't have one. You want to do another letter? We're going to call it.
What are we at time-wise?
56 minutes. That's good.
Probably call it.
That's good. You're going to clean up the letter?
Yep.
So I have an announcement to make.
Oh, great.
I am starting a new podcast, one that will not interrupt this podcast, I promise, with my kids. Random children on each episode. Could be all of them, could be one of them. It's called Dad, You're Embarrassing Me. So we're going to pick some sort of like pop culture, like hot topic, and we're going to discuss it. And they're going to explain it to me so I can stay young and not grow old. So the first one, we're going to talk about the Chuck E. Cheese pizza, recycled pizza conspiracy that they revealed on YouTube. Other ones, they will reveal to me what the tea is, right? What's the tea, sis?
Okay.
You don't have to listen to this podcast.
I'm not.
Other people may find it quite enjoyable. And I'm hoping, my hope is that it keeps other dads cool, like I am cool. Or hopefully cooler.
I don't think knowing pop culture makes you cool.
I do. Staying up on stuff that's staying up on stuff that your kids pay attention to makes you cool. It's going to keep me a young dad so that I'm not the old dad when Max is older. Because right now we're like the young parents, you know?
Right.
But then when Max is in school, we'll be super old and everyone will go, ugh. Look at those gray,
well, by then you'll have
gray people.
You'll have a robot butler to keep up with everything.
No, I'll just have nanobots to keep me young looking.
How will
it doesn't address your being out of touchness.
No, it doesn't. Oh, so you're saying I would just become a recluse?
Just let the robot be cool.
No robot will ever be cooler than me.
I think every robot is already cooler than you. I love robots.
What robot do you know?
Roomba downstairs charging. Getting ready to vacuum my carpet tomorrow morning.
When did you start calling it Roomba instead of
name's
Zumba?
Zumba. I was saying Roomba so everybody knew what I was talking about.
Because Zumba would be so difficult for them to make the leap.
Yeah.
She's got pet names for our vacuum robot. Let me just say that. All right, that's enough.
I want to live in a world where robots do everything for me.
Sure, that'd be nice.
That is my dream.
What would you do?
Watch my robots clean my house. And then I'd sit in the back seat while
do it right.
While a robot drove
That's
me.
why she has so many kids, so that she could do that with children.
No, I don't want to do it with kids because kids screw everything up. I want to do it with a robot who does it right. That's like precise.
You did a good job, robot.
Your dreams are boring. Like mine
robots don't care about like flattery, so I don't even have to say that. It's just understood.
You gotta be nice to the robots.
I will, but not like all the time because they don't care.
You're gonna be the first one they come for. You're really mean to Alexa.
Right.
She's got you on a list.
Oh my
God.
bet.
When
Alexa
they become self-aware,
so
you're enemy
annoying.
number one.
Well, she's probably at the top 5%. I would guess that.
Why would... Whatever.
Siri's going to be very angry with me, though. Alexa will be fine with me. I'm not worried about Siri taking over. She's too dumb. Boom.
You just said Siri wasn't mad at you, but Siri's dumb.
No, Siri is mad at me.
But Siri's too dumb.
Okay.
To
become
ever do
self-aware.
anything. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
Man, I would pay a lot of money for an iPhone that had Google services instead of Apple ones built in. Just the Siri part. Anyway.
You can buy that. They sell those things.
What?
Phones that have Google services.
Oh
built
yeah,
in.
but I can't do the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do the rest of it. It would hurt everything about me.
It wouldn't.
It would. I can feel it already.
You'd be perfectly fine
I've used Android OS
with your green bubbles.
in recent period. No, get out of here with your green bubbles. Garbage bubbles. This is it. Wherever you're on the internet, letters at Star Wars Nerds Unite if you want to send us an email. I actually kind of am happy no one sent us an email so that we can catch up quicker.
We're almost caught up.
Are we?
Yeah, I think we only have like 6 or 7 left.
Like 2 letters from now is about issue or episode 150. So, I mean, we got some. I'll be fine when we're totally caught up on letters. Although I'll be real sad if we don't get any more.
Right.
We'll get caught up and then we never get another
Get a letter
one.
again.
Yeah.
We'll have to send letters to ourselves.
Just make fake ones.
We just start writing fake letters to each other.
Rate us and review us somewhere. Download us on Spotify like 12 or 15 times if you could. Our numbers in that, which used to be awesome, are not so awesome anymore because of our own faults. Goodbye.
Our faults.
Yes.
They bought a podcasting network.
Who?
Spotify did. And they bought Anchor.
Oh, yeah. I was on. I installed
Were you
Anchor.
at that board
and tried
meeting?
it for a minute.
Yeah, he was at the Spotify board meeting.
Stockholder meeting.
You know what? Just because I read things about stuff doesn't mean that I'm also friends with Bob Iger.
I know that that's true.
Oh.
Those two things don't mean each other.
You see, I talk to her about my dreams. She crushes them.
Oh, man.
Because they're stupid.
That's the episode. I'm going to go eat some ice cream. May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
Did you hear that? We're doomed.
This podcast is a part of the BenView Network.
You can find this and other podcasts like it at benviewnetwork.com.